to be trusting in the Lord, and you just started a ministry, uh, in a foreign country, and then you find out you got cancer. You find out that you got 13 to 18 months more to live. You got a baby coming. You struggling just to keep the ministry afloat. And then as the end of this right here is, you find out the guy, he dies. He dies of the cancer. Dies of it. Started the ministry up. Had a baby on the way. But now, to this day, that ministry has reached over 1 million people. 1 million souls. 1 million people decided to choose Christ. They decided to partake into the life. Now, you look at the situation for Stephen and how he was stoned to death. That's like the most roughest way to go, man. Like, I'm prepared. I'm preparing my mind. I'm saying right now that I feel like I'm ready for, I know the persecution is coming, and I'm just posturing myself on how to be the most politically correct at disagreeing, because I feel like I shouldn't be feeling that my not offending somebody my politeness is offensive. I don't like this new idea that's circling around in this, the domesticated thought pools out there that are, I guess, trying to domesticate human beings. That's what they're trying to do in thought and in visual. Just because how much the visual aspect, and there's people who are born with none of that, and they can really pick up on the other senses that don't require sight. But for the majority of people, you have your sight. It's once again a sad truth of what happens when free will takes a place. When you have to acknowledge that to say that God allowed that to happen to that individual, that negative thing, to say that God allowed it, is also to say that God chose that. But even within that, you chose. You chose. And that really is conflicting to me, because did I choose to exist? And I always ask that question. And I always try to figure out what is out there that can ease life a little bit better on that. Because that's a big thing, there's a lot of different beliefs out there. There's a lot of different truths that can be false as well. And one of them is right. And that's just the bottom line. And if you're under the delusion that your way is the correct one, and you're going in the wrong direction, and then you end up getting the worst kind of end of the deal, because you are in direct opposition. But at the same time, you just wouldn't acknowledge what you were seeing in front of you. And I think that is the real issue of the fact. Because torture, for some, can turn into lustful passions. You know what I mean? And it doesn't turn out so good for those kinds of individuals. And kind of really don't know where I went through. I was going through this little thought pattern today, and then I guess it didn't manifest in the way that I wanted it to. But I'm just really working on getting the show together, getting the ideas together, getting the focus together, and making the moves. I started counting my blessings. Stop asking why me some lemonade. Unafraid, undismayed, going on escapades. No need to stimulate. Got a guy that can do anything. Yeah. I just put that in at the end. Look, y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna get better and more, get the idea together, but you can get everything working. I just made this beat. You can just make it. I made it a while ago. But y'all can just work with me. Y'all can get your mind together and start understanding that the Woofer Club is for real. It's for real. And barely use underwear as you think. And yeah, you don't have to be like all legit this to be legit that. It's all about your acts and how you get there. Peace.